Hello all and welcome to the first episode of the year of Beth the Chef. It's my Secret Santa gift there, whoever you are. Thank you very much. So we're gonna start where we've finished that with our lamb mulligatawny soup and mini naan breads. So mulligatawny soup, it translates from Tamil cuisine, which is Tamil, and it translates to pepper water. Now this is my take on mulligatawny soup, and yeah, there's no peppers in this, but like with all cooking, everyone has different variations. In a way, that's how make the cuisines and the cooking world go round. So before we start, I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. I hope everyone didn't party too hard. Well, I went down to Cornwall, met some friends and family, and there was a lot of dancing involved. So we've got a lot to pack in once again, and without further ado, let's cook. We're first going to start with making the naan breads. This is in order to leave good time for proving while we can crack on with our soup. And I've tried to fit all the ingredients into the camera viewing. I think I've done all right here. So with all the ingredients, I have 300 grams of strong flour, and you're going to need a little bit extra later on when we're going to roll out and shape. Got some baking powder, some salt, just a little packet here. This is 7 gram sachet of fast action dried yeast. Now I've not worked with fresh yeast before, but if you want to have a go with fresh yeast, it's about 3 times the amount of the dried yeast. So I've got my yogurt, my nigella seeds, because in a traditional naan bread, nigella seeds would make it more fragrant. I've got caster sugar. Now this is just 2 teaspoons in there. 125 mils of water and some butter. Now this is my just some leftover of the Christmas butter, because it lasts for bloody ages, to be quite frank. But again, if you haven't seen how to make the Christmas butter and you want to find out, it's in my ultimate Christmas burger recipe. Just fast forward to between 10 minutes 27 seconds and 11 minutes 45 seconds. You can use normal butter if you want, but it's more of a oomph in flavour, let's say. So I'll take you to the first stage and how to activate our yeast. So the first stage for this is to activate our yeast, and just like in a way making sourdough, we're going to do a starter, which is just a method to, well, yes, activate the yeast. You want the yeast to be nice and frothy for your naan breads. But there's a slight difference between this and making a sourdough starter. Well, to be honest, if you're a little bit impatient like me, you don't have to wait. Sourdough starter, you have to kind of make a paste with the flour and the water and feed it in a way for the bacteria to grow. And I'm not very good on sourdough. I've never had much experience in it, but it takes at least a week. And I want to wait a week. I want to wait an hour. So what you need to do with your water is just to heat it up a little bit. I'm going to do short bursts in the microwave just to get it to about 30 degrees. 30 degrees always works well while making donuts, so make it work well with naan breads. So yeah, I'm going to give it 10-15 seconds each time, check it with a probe. It shouldn't take long at all. He's already at 24. So give it one more bath and that should be it. Okay, maybe one more. I'm going to get the yeast ready. Lovely. And what you want to put in as well with this is half of your sugar. About half. You should be able to smell it already. If you look closely, it's already working a little. But you want to leave this for about 10 to 15 minutes for it to really start activating. Right, so when your yeast is ready, get your butter ready as well. So I've just melted it here. Melted and cooled butter. Your yeast, you can see that, should be quite foamy now. So, like standard breads really, and donuts as well. I'm going to add the salt on one side. Okay, just a little bit, but that's about half teaspoon. Baking powder, again, you want half a teaspoon. Another side. And your remaining sugar on another bit. I'm sure it's all in there. Now, just going to create a little well in the middle. And you want to add about half of this butter. Save the rest for brushing when we get to cook them off in the skillet. There we go. Our yeast. Be able to hear it as well, almost, well, fizz. That's the way of saying it. And a yoghurt. Now you want 150 mils of this. This is a 200 container, so I'm going by eye. A little bit more. And bring it all together, then add a good sprinkle of your nigella seeds. Yeah, so you're aiming for a nice soft dough, but not too wet or too sticky, so it can hold its shape well. And once you've brought it together in your bowl, just knead for 10 minutes, lightly knead on a floured surface. So I've kneaded for 10 minutes, and what you should be able to see with this is if you kind of go like that, you should be able to see the dough almost spring back into shape. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but you'll know what I mean when you're doing it. Now this is going to go into a cling bowl. Cling film, prove in a cool dry place for at least an hour to an hour and a half, like usual dough, so it's doubled in size. In the meantime, we're going to start our soup. Alright, so we'll get to all the ingredients to actually make the soup base in just a moment. But what you want to do here for your first stage is, I've got a good knob of the butter, and just brown your lamb off, season well with salt and pepper, and leave to one side. So in here is 200 grams of lamb chunks. Indian fragrance and spices, they always work very well with lamb, or even goat. I don't know if you've tried goat before, but goat meat's very similar to lamb, not as much fat, but yeah, first time I tried goat, I had we slow cooked some goat shanks with some celeriac, which is bloody handsome, to be quite frank. There are plenty of. Right, so I've got all my ingredients gathered for the soup base. But when you have done your lamb, don't clean your saucepan out, because we can use it for the soup and it would boost in flavour. Almost deglaze the pan. Right, so I'll start with going through the veg. Get that in the camera. So in here it's all roughly chopped for a soup base, but 1 white onion, 1 fresh fennel bulb, 1 carrot, 1 apple, and 1 medium-sized potato. Just for later on, I've got just over a pint of chicken stock, and start off with this, but see how it goes. I add a little more liquid if needed later on. I've got the juice of 1 lemon, some ketchup to boost the flavours and bring out some sweetness later on. Some ginger paste. Now I'm just using this ginger paste to use it up because it was in the cupboard, but to use fresh ginger, just peel and microplane a thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger. In here's a bay leaf, 1 rather large star anise, 2 rather large garlic cloves, which have just been roughly diced, and just over 2 teaspoons of medium curry powder. So I'll just grab my spoon and I'm just going to add ketchup. I'm going to go for a good squirt, the lemon and the ginger into the spice pot, just so it's going to be easier to disperse into the pan later on. You can almost make a paste. Yeah, it's about a tablespoon. In a way you can get even coating on the veg with this as well. Okay. So that was I love just making paste like this because it's so versatile. You could get a rack of lamb, baste it with this to go in the oven. I've recently done roast gammon, but I used fresh sage, ginger powder, some light brown sugar, a little bit of maple syrup for stickiness, and I've got said ginger, haven't I? Oh, and some garlic, and I just coated all the gammon before it went in the oven. Right, so we'll start with sweating off the veg now. Right, so I'm going to sweat the veg. I've got to say, to be honest, which I do apologise, but you do need 100 grams of just long grain rice for later on. This helps get your nice consistency of your soup. So you just want to sweat this off for about 10 minutes and then add your spices, your nice spice paste, your chicken stock. Just leave it to simmer lightly for about 40 minutes. In the meantime, you can look at your naan breads and sort your rice out. Right, so I've got my naan bread here on another lightly floured surface, and we're just going to roll and cut. I'm going to do some mini ones here. in the same way, like biscuit or cookie, thickness of a pound coin really. Yeah. And you can use any shape really, any cutter. We always like this one. No, it just looks nice with curries. Makes you feel like holiday. Or you could do big ones, it's up to you. And any leftovers, reshape, use again. Yeah. Right, so you want to get your pan nice and hot. And add your remaining butter. This around. And you're just going to cut them. Well, these ones are slightly smaller, so 1.5 to 2 minutes each side. Bigger ones, 3 minutes each side. Just do them in batches, like so. Right, so I've removed the bay leaf and the star anise, and I'm just going to go through it with you before turning the blitzer on, and you can hear buggeroo. So I've popped it into a bowl to blitz, and gonna pass it through back into our original pan, and we're gonna get some more heat back through it with the lamb just before serving. Right, so now I'm ready for the best bit, just bringing the dish together. So I've got a hearty bowl of the soup right here, and I've got 2 naan breads. It's there, and I'm just going to finish this off with some fresh coriander leaves. And there you have it, my mulligatawny soup with lamb, mini naan breads finished with fresh coriander. Nice, nice winter comforting food. So, yeah, so once again, spread the word, Beth the chef. You all know the drill. Join us next week. We're gonna do a bit of pastry work again. Some lemon madeleines. I'm gonna teach you how to do feather work with chocolate. We're going back with our seed buckthorn. We're gonna make a nice gel and finish off with torched Italian meringue. Bon appetit!